morning, America. Brought to you by our studios here in beautiful Chagrin Falls, Ohio. If you've never had a chance to visit Chagrin Falls, you need to, because if any of you out there remember the Mayberry RFD kind of days with Opie Taylor and Andy, well, that's what kind of town we're in here. And the greatest thing is, it's built around a beautiful waterfall, actually two. So if you ever get a chance to come on down here to Chagrin Falls, first of all, stop in and visit me, but you will really enjoy it. We have many cool restaurants here. You think you'd be in, you're in California with all the cool restaurants and all the little cool shops and everything here. It's just a beautiful town. But guys, what I want to talk about today is many of us are in ruts, and you may say, well, Dave, why is it such a big deal if I'm in a rut? Because don't they come and go? Yes, they do come and go. But here's the thing. If you've ever been stuck in a rut, one thing you'll notice is you're going nowhere. Yes, you're going nowhere. So when you're in a rut in life, your life is basically on hold. So what we want to do is we want to set you up for greatness. We want to show you how to get out of those ruts faster. And I have 4 simple principles today that we're going to go over to get you out of your rut and back in your game. Because after all, God has created each and every one of us for greatness. So that's what I want to talk about today, guys. Rule number 1, set realistic goals for whatever you're doing in life. If you're going to set goals that are unobtainable at first, of course you're going to be in a rut. You need to set goals that you can do in baby steps, one at a time, to get to where you're going. Now, when we started our global company, Tour Sticks, we obviously were not in every single box store and every single store throughout the world all at once. We had to open those stores one at a time. We had to have realistic goals that could be obtained. Now, the one thing I want you to understand is when you're setting these realistic goals, make sure they are trackable. Yes, make sure they're trackable. You have to have a way to keep track of what you're doing so you don't get overwhelmed. And the whole thing is to take one thing at a time. I mean, even the Bible, guys, says that we're to live one day at a time. Because when we try and focus on the future and we try and focus too far out, there's nothing wrong with those things. But really, our human bodies were not designed to take all the stresses of the world and all the projects all at once. So that's why we need to do things one at a time. Okay, number 2, this is something that we all need to figure out how to do, but it's basically getting out of your comfort zone. When you are in a comfort zone, basically it is what it is. You are comfortable. Now, when you're comfortable sitting on a couch, watching TV, whatever it may be, again, you are going nowhere when you are comfortable. We have to learn to get out of those comfort zones in life. Sometimes we need a fire lit under our butt to get us moving. So you know what? You've got to learn to not realize to basically get stuck in those comfort zones in life. You have to know when to move on. You have to move into newness. You have to educate yourself to be able to get out of these comfort zones. And I can't tell you how bad it can be when you are stuck in that vicious cycle of just relaxing in what you do. Now, one thing I can honestly tell you, years ago with business, many people were stuck in a comfort zone. Their family was in, say, the hardware business, and generation after generation after generation, they were very comfortable in their comfort zone. But guys, we live in a different world today with all the technology out there, and with the world changing as fast as it is, there is no way we are able to live in that comfort zone anymore. The comfort zone is gone. You have to renew yourself every day. You have to live in newness and change. You have to learn to embrace change. Just hold on to change and understand that it's not your enemy, it's actually your best friend. Okay? So I want you to understand, get out of those comfort zones. Number 3, this one's pretty simple. We have to learn to get out of the past. God put the eyes in front of our head, not the back, right? So we're seeing where we're going forward. You can't live in the past. You can't let the mistakes from the past haunt you time and time and time again. Now, I've had some great trials in my life. I've had some great successes in my life. I've had some failures in my life. Now, that's one thing you'll never hear me say, Dave Fritz. You will never hear me talk about failure because, yes, I realize it's real, but failures are never failure. Failures are lessons in life that if we learn from them, again, our perceived enemy can now be another best friend. So you cannot live in your past. You can't worry about past mistakes that you've made. Guys, we have a very limited time on this earth, and I can't believe when I look at how old I am today, and no, I will not talk about the age, but when I look back and I'm wondering where did it all go, and it reminds me of my great grandmother. She told me something way back, and she basically told me, Dave, when you get out of school, your life will zip by and you won't know what happened. And I can tell you that she is absolutely right. Our lives go very fast, guys, so we have to learn to, do these principles as quick as possible so our life is not a continual rut and we are stuck in a holding pattern. So we have to learn that. Now, guys, does Dave know everything about getting out of a rut, and has Dave ever been in a rut? Trust me, I know what ruts are like. I have my own that I'm working on, and that's the thing. We need to take baby steps to learn to get out of that rut. I want to tell you a cool little story here, because Dave loves stories, right? Many years ago, probably about 20 years ago, I bought a brand new pickup truck. It was a four-wheel drive truck, had the big tires, really cool looking truck. This was really a crazy night. It was about probably 1 in the morning. One of my buddies just drops in. I was living in the old bachelor pad, and one of my buddies drops in, and he says to me, hey, you know what? You got a brand new truck. He said, let's go out to Kinzua Dam, Pennsylvania. They have these logging roads up through the mountains, and we'll take that truck. We'll go on these logging roads. We'll have a good old time. So we drove, I think it was like 3 hours just to get to this area. So now it's like 3 in the morning. We get in my brand new pickup truck. We're driving all on these logging trails, and all of a sudden, guys, we see a great, huge, muddy spot, and we're like drooling because we just can't wait to take this brand new truck in four-wheel drive and just conquer that monster. So we get in the truck, and we're going through, and about halfway across, the truck gets totally buried. I mean, the mud came up to the door jambs. That's how bad it was. We're spinning back and forth. Now, guys, this was before all the cell phone stuff that we have today. So we had no cell phone. There would have been coverage out there anyways. But now we are stuck on some logging road with no communication, miles from civilization, 3, 4 in the morning. It was in the late fall, so it's 30 degrees outside. It's getting cold. What do? Okay, well, we decided we're not going to do anything really tonight. We're stuck pretty bad in this rut. So what we do is, we were lucky. We had a 6-pack of beer, and we got in the back of the bed of the truck. And since we were driving for so many hours, the bed of the truck was actually warmed by the exhaust. So we grabbed our 6-pack of beer, our Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we sat in the back till we fell asleep. We woke up in the morning and we're still stuck in the rut. What do? I get in the truck trying to figure this out, oh man, we got to get out of this rut. Guys, all of a sudden something hit me, and I feel very stupid for telling you this, but I realized that my four-wheel drive truck had not been locked into four-wheel drive. I was only in two-wheel drive. So when I found that out, I turned the switch, locked it in four-wheel drive, and the truck pulled right out, and we went on our way. That's what I want to tell you, guys. That is step number 4. We already possess everything we need for success. It's already within your body. The Creator has already placed everything in your body that you need for success. He's given us a blueprint. He's given us His Bible. Everything we need to know in life is in there. Everything we need to have is already placed within us. All we have to do is learn to tap into it. Now, guys, I hope those 4 principles really helped you today, because they will get you out of your ruts in life. Now, remember, ruts are plural. There's going to be more than one, of course. You have a rut, you'll have a good time in life, and then you're going to come into another rut. The quicker you learn how to handle ruts and how to get out of them faster, the better you're going to be, the more successful you're going to be in whatever you're doing in life. So we have to learn how to get out of these ruts and how to do it. I just gave you 4 simple steps there that should help you get out of your ruts. Guys, it's been a glorious day. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I don't know about you, but hope this helped you today. And you know what? As we say here, hooey ho, till we meet again. God bless the wonderful USA, and Dave Fritz.